So on this page, it tells us here are the endpoints of your diameter. Write the equation of the circle. Okay, so the focus, anytime they're asking you to write the equation of the circle, here should be your focus. What's the center? What's the radius? If they don't give me the center or the radius, what do I need to do with the information that they've given me to be able to figure that out? So let's just draw a quick little sketch here of the information that they've given us. If they've given us the end point to the diameter, so I'm just going to draw a random diameter in a random circle here. Okay, we've got to know the center and we've got to know the radius. So in terms of or in relation to the diameter, where or what is the center? On the diameter, where's the center? It's the midpoint. Okay, the center is right in the middle of your diameter. The center is right in the middle of your diameter, so middle should make us think midpoint. So we're going to use the midpoint formula to find the center of our circle. Then once we know the center and we have two separate points on the circle, we did this on Friday, what did we do to find the length of the radius with the center and a point? Distance formula. Okay, so we're going to use both of those formulas here to find the center first, and then once we have the center, we use the center and one of our endpoints to find the length of the radius. So let's do that with example 1 there. Okay, we've got 10, -6, and -6, 10 are the endpoints of our diameter. So our center, we use the midpoint. The center is right in the middle of the endpoints of the diameter. So 10 plus -6 divided by 2, -6 plus 10 divided by 2. 10 plus -6 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. -6 plus 10 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So our center is at 2, 2. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you could find the length of the radius, but this is the easiest one. It's to take one of your points and just make it consistent. Okay, I usually go with the first one. Okay, it's just easiest, keeps it consistent. First point and the center, we're going to do the distance formula, which is equal to the length of our radius. So I'm going to label it as R. So x minus x squared plus y minus y squared. Let's work that out. 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 squared is 64. -6 minus 2 is -8. -8 squared is 64. So that gives me the square root of 128. That's not a perfect square, but what is the equation of my circle equal to? Is it equal to R? It's equal to R squared. So that's a square root. So how about we just square both sides? So R squared is just equal to what's under the square root. Okay, you don't need to take the square root and then turn around and square it again. Just look at it from that perspective. If R is equal to the square root, then R squared is just equal to what's under the square root. So now we have everything we need to write our equation. X minus the x coordinate of our center, so x minus 2 squared, plus y minus the y coordinate of our center, so y minus 2 squared is equal to R squared, which for this circle is 128. Okay, let's do another one just to make sure we've got it. We're given the endpoints of our diameter. The center of the circle is right in the middle, so we use the midpoint formula. I know I sound like a broken record, but hopefully the more I say it, the more you hear it, the more you do it, the more you will remember it. Okay, so -4 plus -12 is -16. -16 divided by 2 is -8. 15 plus 9 is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So our center is -8, positive 12. So use the first point, first endpoint, and the center. I'm going to go ahead and write it like this. I'm just going to say R squared is equal to, so I don't have to write that square root because it's going to disappear in the end. -4 minus -8 squared plus 15 minus 12 squared. R squared is equal to subtracting a negative, same as adding a positive. So -4 plus 8 is 4. 4 squared is 16. 15 minus 12 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So that ends up saying r squared is equal to 25. So here's our equation. X minus the x-coordinate. So the x-coordinate was -8, so that changes the sign to x plus 8. Plus y minus 12 squared is equal to r squared, which is 25. Okay, so I've got plenty of practice there on that worksheet for you. I would like for you to do 3 through 10.